Butterick has recently released their fall and winter collection. I don't feel like they've usually bundled these two drops together, but regardless, they have. We have 16 patterns to look at. They are saying that this fall and winter drop is featuring trendy tops and family favorites. So let's see if that's true and jump right on in. The collection starts with this dress pattern, which is cute and sort of simple. It's an unlined fit and flare dress that has princess seams with a button front. You can see that view A here also has flaps with buttons for the pockets, although I think these are faux pockets. Mm, nope, I guess they're real pockets. Anyway, so yeah, you're going to have the princess seam here, so it's going to be very flattering and fitting. You have the long sleeves in view A with more of a knee-length dress, and then view B is going to be more of a midi full-length dress with cuffs with more button details there. These are both collarless dresses and they are unlined, so they will work nicer where you have a little bit more warmth because you're not going to have a lot of insulation here. I don't really like how they paired it with the belt here. The buttons are doing a lot with the flaps and everything else. The button just isn't necessary to me. I guess it brings in the black for the accessories in their mind. And then this is going to be the shoulder length with the long sleeves. I do think the cuffs on the sleeves are a little interesting. But again, this is really a very simple dress. It is available in a size 4 to 12 and 14 to 22. But it tends to be a little all over with their sizes, and I don't really understand why. But anyway, they suggest a crepe, a gabardine, or basically any medium weight woven here. You don't want anything too light, but you definitely don't want anything too heavy. And overall, this is a really simple classic silhouette of a dress. 7006 is another dress, but this one is a little bit more contemporary and modern. It is going to be an off the sleeve bodice, off the shoulder sleeve bodice, and then you have the options of two different skirts. You have more of a fitted pencil skirt in view A with a slit in the back, or you have view B, which is more of a 6-panel skirt, very full, almost a circle skirt. You have darts in the bodice front and back to make sure that it's nice and fitted, and you have darts in the sleeve as well here. This actually reminds me a lot of an older McCall's pattern, McCall 7683, but that one was a knit. And it also reminds me of Vogue 9355, which I think was re-released as 1742. And I actually made that bodice once and then never actually finished the dress. But anyway, I like this look because I like an off the shoulder. It doesn't quite seem fall or winter to me. It seems very much more spring. But I don't know. Regardless, it's a cute dress. If we look at the illustrations here, this color pink is Chef's Kiss. This like magenta, very cute. Here, I don't mind the black belt because it's not taken away from anything. There's nothing else competing with it. And this floral is very pretty. It reminds me of the Vogue off the shoulder dress I was trying to make for Atlanta Frocktails in a floral. Gives me that same sort of vibe. And it's cute. This is going to be the fitted skirt with the slit in the back, and then of course the illustration was the paneled skirt. This is available in an 8 to 16 and then an 18 to a 26. They suggest crepes, linens, medium weight wovens, chiton. Yeah, I would agree that any medium weight woven would work for this. Taffeta, gabardines, suitings if you wanted to look a little bit more businessy. Like I think that this would work. Probably keep the suitings for the pencil skirt, but I think that this would be a very cute dress. I don't think I'm going to grab it because I already have that Vogue and that McCall's pattern. I don't know that I need another off the shoulder dress option, but it's very cute. We have our first coat in this collection, and this is a good one. It's very boxy, sort of oversized double breast jacket or coat. I always love a coat that has a raglan sleeve because I just think that it's easier to wear. It feels more comfortable, especially over heavy layers like sweaters and stuff. You also have a cuff on the sleeve, and I love a cuff, so that's great. there is a really wide, big lapel that has a notch, and you have welt pockets at like the front side. So very cute here. Center seam in the back. The longer view does have a vent for wearability's sake. So I really like almost everything here. Um, I like a form-fitting jacket in some ways, but boxier coats and jackets actually make more sense, especially if you live in a colder climate because you're already going to have on layers and it's just you just want something to throw over it and to keep you insulated. In this situation, I prefer the longer length that we're going to see in a second versus this light jacket length. You can see here that the cuff is cut on the bias because you can see how the plaid is going as a diagonal, and that adds a little bit of interest. I love that they covered the buttons here so everything goes together. Cute. This is the knee length version, which would be the one I would probably make if I were to make this coat. Because for me, if I'm wearing a real coat like this, it's because it's cold. So I'm going to want to cover more of my body. But if you live in a climate, actually more like mine, where it doesn't get that cold, the jacket length would probably make more sense. And you can see here the detail of the raglan sleeve in the back. Another fun thing that you could do is add some piping here, give that a punch. Not going to be in the pattern description, but that would be cute. This is going to be available in an 8 to a 16 and then a 14 to a 26, which is a little interesting. They're basically calling for medium weight wovens. So faux leathers, denim, gabardines, medium weight wools, all of those would work for this. I could even see maybe like a lighter flannel. Anything could really work for this. You're also, of course, going to need a lining and some interfacing, but this doesn't seem like too difficult of a coat to make. They call it average. And I think this is something that is really wearable and would be good to add to your collection if you don't have like a favorite coat pattern already. We have another jacket with Butterick 7008. They actually call this a bomber jacket, and I tend to disagree because in my mind, bombers have elasticized waist. Whether it's elastic in a channel or whether it's a ribbed elastic waist, this just being a straight hem confuses me a little bit, but the rest of it, I guess, looks like a bomber, so that's fair. You have two views here, views A and B. Both views are going to have a zip front and a welt pocket with a flap, as well as button cuffed sleeves. View A is going to have a ribbed collar, and view B has like a pointed collar. So you do have those differences there. View A definitely gives me more of a bomber vibe, whereas view B gives me more of a shacket, but with a zipper. Either way, this is going to be a little bit oversized, a little bit boxy. So if this is your style, that's fine. Bombers do tend to be a little bit oversized. I do like the welt pockets with the flap here. Adds a nice detail. And sometimes zippers are just easier to close, although I've seen a bomber with buttons before too. But I prefer the rib collar of view A to this pointed collar of view B because it just doesn't look as bomberish to me. Again, I would pass on this one because I want my bomber to really have that elasticized waist and cuffs, really, to be honest. But this is a different take on it, and to each their own. So if you like this one, it does take medium weight fabrics. So you could do wools, faux suede, faux leather, denim, gabardine, any medium weight woven. You're going to need lining for this, as well as obviously the zipper and some fusible interfacing. They also call this average. So, not too difficult if you want to take this on. This is available in a size 6 to 14 and then 16 to 24. So if you like this one and you don't have a bomber or a similar coat pattern, this would be a great pattern to grab. This next pattern is a two-piece set of a tunic with pants, and you do have two options for this top. You can see here on the pattern envelope that view A has long sleeves, tunic length, but view B being very similar, it just also has a cape functionality added onto it. So let's look at the line drawings to see the difference here. In view A, you can see has the long sleeves, going to have like that tulip hem, that sort of wrap over hem in the front, a symmetrical hem in the back, center back zip. And then at the front shoulder, you are going to have 3 large pleats, which just really adds to the drapiness of that panel in the front. View B is essentially the same as view A, but instead of having long straight sleeves, it has more of like a tulip sleeve that creates more of a cape effect, which could also be really pretty in a really lightweight fabric. And then view C is just a very classic tapered pant with darts at the waist and like a hem tape, no waistband kind of a waist closure with a side zip here. So again, looking at the pattern envelope, you can see the 2 views. View B again has this more tulip crossover sleeve that pairs with the crossover of the front and makes this have much more of a cape-like look. And then the illustration for view A just shows you what it looks like with a more traditional sleeve. Both are worn over the tapered pants. This is available in a size 8 to 16 and then 14 through or 16 through 26. So for this, they are calling for a little bit lighter weight fabric. So you're looking at a crepe, a jacquard, a matte jersey, which I don't see as much, but a matte jersey would really be nice for this. But I definitely agree, something in like a crepey fabric way would be really nice for this. And this could be something to wear to a holiday party or an evening event, a holiday play, something like that, especially if you are one to lean more towards two-piece pant sets than a dress. This blouse has some nice details. It is Butterick 7010. I always need more tops, but I honestly don't wear blouses, so I wouldn't grab this pattern. But that's really the only reason, and that's mainly because I hate ironing. Anyway, I really like View B and the bias cut of the front because I love stripes. I love to play with stripes. It's always a pain in the butt when it's time to cut it out, but I always buy it because I'm always drawn to this type of style. If we look at the pattern drawings, you can see that view A has contrast cuffs, um, plackets, and collars. So that's also a really nice look. I could see this in a very classic white and all the contrasting being black or dark navy blue or a print and a solid, like so many options. And then view B is going to be the bias cut view where everything is out of the same fabric. But if we look at the pattern envelope, we can look a little bit more details of this. On the model, you can see they have view B with the bias cut. So you have this chevron effect with the diagonal stripes, very nice. And then you can see in this illustration sort of the reverse contrast of like a light powdery baby sky blue with the white cuffs and collar really stands out. You can see here the stripes paired with just a pair of flared pants. You're going to have that yoke in the back, box pleat for some room, very classic version of a woman's blouse. You can use any shirtings, linen, poplin, sateen, chatung, any lightweight woven would work fine for this. It's available in an 8 to 16 and then a 14 through 22. I wish it was a little bit more size inclusive because I would barely fit the 22 of this. I would much rather have a 24 as an option, but I do like this blouse. I don't really wear blouses in my actual everyday life, but I think you should get it. We have another shirt in 7011. I don't care for this one as much, but I have to give them credit for being different. You're going to have view A in a crop length and view B has a tie front. So definitely a twist on the classic blouse look. Let's look at the line drawings. First, you can see on the line art that view A is the crop length. You're going to have a drop shoulder, back yoke, box pleat, collar stand, button placket, all the traditional things in a blouse. This is going to be short sleeve, although obviously you could add the longer sleeves from B. And you have this little detail here of this side diagonal piece. Interesting. So you can see on view B that that side diagonal piece becomes the side here for the tie. So it gives this more high-low type of feel between the back and the front. You can also see that there is a button cuff with the long sleeves with a very long lapped continuous lap here. And it just adds this detail of having this hem portion here under the button band. And while I believe that that is cute in theory, I would much prefer making an oversized white blouse and just tying it as opposed to this. But that's just me. This would probably be a little bit easier in the fact that everything would fall properly because it's designed to be worn this way. But yeah, the cropped version I actually think is cute. I don't think I've seen many cropped blouses. Well, maybe. But anyway, I do think that the cropped version is cute. I just don't think I would ever make View B, but I can certainly see why other people would. I do like the tie front as like an overall detail. And then like you can see here, it's going to be longer in the back. And this is available from, I believe, a 6 to a 16 and then a 14 to a 24. Basic shirting fabrics is what you want to use here. Challis, chambray, shirtings, linen, um, anything that you would use to make a traditional blouse, you could use for this one. And then, of course, you're going to need buttons and interfacing to finish off everything here. But if you love a blouse but would like a little bit of a twist, I think that 7011 would be great for you. Butterick 7012 brings us our first suit pattern from this collection. And I do find this a little interesting. If we look at the front of the envelope here, you can see that you have view A, which is sort of like a cropped blazer, and then the option of a pant or a very full skirt. So as usual, y'all know I love to look at the line drawings. I really think that you can see the details here. So let's start there. So view A is giving you more of a cropped blazer jacket with a traditional notched lapel. You have a two-piece sleeve. They have like the more curved princess seams in the front and the back, and it has a single breasted, single button closure. I do like on the sleeves how they give you the three button closure. It is a part of the two-piece sleeve. That really works. And then view B is going to be a 6-panel skirt that's going to give you a lot of flare, side zip, no waistband. And then view C is going to be a straight leg pant with inseam side pockets, as well as a waistband with, I'm assuming, a hidden button or snap closure, as well as a fly zip, pleats in the front for wearability and all that. Let's see what it says. Hook and bar closure, so not a hidden snap, but I knew something had to be under that part. So I think on the model, I get it. The proportions of the crop jacket and then the skirt. I don't see it as much in the illustration here. I don't like how the jacket meets the pants, but maybe that's the illustration's fault, not the pattern's fault. It doesn't look as bad to me in the skirt for some reason. But yeah, if you are into suitings, this would be something to do. The crop jacket is definitely in because there's another one in the McCall's drop. So crop blazers are definitely going to be a thing. This is available in an 8 to 16 and then an 18 to 26, and it's going to call for basic suiting fabrics, medium weight woven, so gabardines, linens, wool blends, suitings. You will need some interfacing here as well as lining fabric, and then you can pick and choose whether you would rather have a skirt or the pants here, but this is an overall cohesive look, and you could make a three-piece suit, so you could mix and match whatever you see fit. Butterick is always good for giving you a good coordinates pattern. And this drop is no exception with 7013. There's a lot of options here. These are going to be knit coordinates. So for view A, you have a very loose sort of sweatshirt, I guess, sort of. There's a dolman sleeve. There's a curved hem in the back. There is this wrapped front with a curvature detail for the top. This is going to be more cropped. You're going to wear it over something. It has a wide, a round neck here. And then for view B, you're going to have more of a traditional turtleneck that has bust darts. And then view C is going to be an elastic waist skirt that's somewhat flared. And then view D is going to be a pull-on straight wide-ish leg pant. Um, that said, most of this is pretty blah. I do like when they give us a set and you have multiple views in one pattern, especially when it's something like this where it really is designed to give you your own like capsule wardrobe. Choose the right fabrics and you can mix and match all of these pieces together. I'm not as crazy about this over top as I want to be, and I'm not sure why, because in the drawing it looks okay. I don't know. There's something about it I don't like on the model, but a turtleneck is a good pattern to have, so I like how they layered it over the turtleneck. That's why it has a bigger sort of scoop, not scoop, but round neckline. You can see here again, they put it on over a turtleneck, and yet again, and again. Okay, so this is giving you the turtleneck and the dress. They've accented it with some big jewelry and a big belt. Here's it together with the pants. So it's a little bit straight, a little bit flared here. And then here's all three together with the skirt option. Overall, though, this looks really comfortable, and I do like the way that they tried to show you how you can mix and match all the pieces. It doesn't look as pulled together as I wanted to. This look of the turtleneck with the skirt is the most pulled together of them all, and these are probably really supposed to be more like lounge ensembles anyway, but it's not for me. So this is available in an extra small to an extra extra large, I believe, all in one envelope. So that's always a plus. And you can basically use any knit for this. They say a moderate stretch knit, and they give you the stretch gauge. So anything that fits in that stretch gauge would work for this. A wool knit would definitely work for the fall and winter because it would keep you nice and toasty, especially as you layer the pieces on top of each other. So if this is a look for you, this would be a great pattern to have because being able to get 4 views in one pattern that can all be intermixed, just pick a color palette and go with it would be great. It's just a little too nondescript for my taste, but I could definitely see somebody else wearing all of these pieces. Here is another knit set in 7014. This might be a little bit more my style, but I'm likely going to pass on this one too, but that's more so because I have other patterns very similar to this. So let's look at the line drawings. View A, you see you have a dress with a large oversized cowl neck with a drawstring. Very cozy, very winter. I could see wearing this on like Christmas morning, you know what I mean? Like very cozy. It's going to have drop shoulders, more comfort. You're going to have hem um, cuffs for the hem of the sleeves here and patch pockets on the front, which is a great place to put like your cell phone or the remote or something. This sort of reminds me of like a Snuggie, like that they used to sell on those infomercials, but you know, you made it. And then view B is basically view A shortened into a sweatshirt top. And I like that it has the side slits and a hemband on the bottom. Very cute. And then they add a jogger with view C with large patch pockets, elastic waist, and leg cuffs. Now, this is not as much about style, although I do sort of like the overall style of this as much as it is for comfort and coziness, right? This is for bundling up in the winter, maybe to go outside, but maybe just to stay in your house, either way. So you see this large cowl neck, you have the drawstring. Like I said, I really like this hemband with the slit on the sides. Nice. And then this is the dress version. Again, very cozy. I could see like being in the house by the fireplace or something with this. And then these are the two pieces together. These are more going to be like a traditional jogger here with the hem at the cuff. So yeah, these are just lounge wear, perfect for wearing in or out. This is going to be available in an extra small to an extra large. I really wish this went ahead and went up to like an extra extra large at the very least to cover the 24-26 size range because, oh, look at me. It does because you have the 1X to the 5X. So my bad. Good job, Butterick. We have an extra small to an extra large and then a 1X to a 5X. There was no reason for them not to keep grading this out. So that's great. They are saying stretch knit. So you want something that's stretchy but not too stretchy. So fleece, especially like the Luxe fleece from Joanne, a French terry, a sweatshirt fleece, a velour, anything like that would be very cozy for this. Again, to wear around the house, to wear out, however you wanted to do it. Both of these colors are actually really pretty here. So yeah, if you don't have a good lounge around outfit pattern, this would be a good one to have. And it's size inclusive. When I saw Butterick 7015, my first thought was those TikTok videos that were popular maybe a month or so ago, where everyone was saying this is the kind of outfit that your grandma got all her bills paid in. So y'all know what I'm talking about. Um, because it's true. Your grandma got all her bills paid. And she was in a nightie like this. This is like a old school nightgown or house dress, as I feel like the older people used to call it. At least my granny did. Um, that you would wear around your house, wear to bed, whatever. So it has this deep curved yoke in the front, and then it has like a puff sleeve on view A, longer sleeve on view B. Has this button detail in the front with some gathers, and you have two links here. So if we look at the pattern drawing, I mean, this is just exactly the vibe that it gives me from those TikTok videos. Always a floral or a plaid with that lace trim detail. You see here again, even in the other view, they do it out of a floral. Like that's just what I think of when I think of these kinds of nightgowns. It's available in an extra small to an extra extra large, which is why I'm not sure that other pattern had to stop at extra large. But anyway, um, and it is going to call for flannel, cotton, broadcloth, real basic, simple fabrics. You will want to get some lace trim to make all the accent details if you want that there. And it does have a few buttons. It'll tell you up here somewhere. So yeah, this definitely just gives me the vibe of my grandma, my mom's, no, not even my mom's, my grandma's like nightgown situation. But these things are cozy, and if you make them out of flannel, they are nice and comfortable for the winter months. And it didn't stop your grandma. They had 8 and 12 kids, so there you go. Butterick 7016 is a unisex adults and kids pattern. It is a jacket pattern. It gives me sort of like shacket vibes. And just because we have so many views to look at the models, let's start with the line drawings here. Views A and B are exactly the same, except for view B has color blocking options, which of course I love, right? So you're going to have a drop shoulder. You're going to have a collar and a collar stand, flap patch pockets on the front with a little bit of that like chevron detail. You could even add like a button or a snap there if you wanted to be fancy, a little razzle dazzle. And then they have a button front. They also have a front and back yoke, which is contrasted on view B. So you can play with that however you like. You don't have to add all the pockets. You could like leave the chest pocket off if you wanted to or whatever. But let's look at the pattern envelope. And you can see this lovely family here where everybody has on one. The mom, dad, and daughter all have on the solid or view A versions, whereas the son here has a view B, which I actually always like mixing a light and a dark or medium and a dark denim. Always think that's cute. So we can see more details here on the adult version. Of course, being unisex means it's going to be a little bit more boxy, a little bit more oversized on a traditional, woman figure. So you do have that. And then on the kids here, same thing, button closure, all the pockets, very practical. So you could definitely do something like this and have everything, the same jacket for the family. It has this yoke back, no pleat, but it's oversized, so you don't really need it. And so because you're going to have the kids and the adults in the same pattern envelope for this one, I think you're going to have an extra small through a large for the kids, which goes up to a 14-16, which is good. And then for adults, you're going to go from a extra small to an extra large, and the numbers there are definitely going to be men's sizing. So, go with that. Check the finished measurements. They suggest basically medium weight wovens for this. Twills, poplins, denims, corduroys, I don't know, velour, just a medium weight fabric, something you would see in a jacket would work well for these. And this is just really nice if you'd like a matching family set. Butterick 7017 is a sleeve pattern, and they've done this before. Butterick or McCall, maybe I don't know, somebody commercial pattern has done one of these before because I have the pattern, but it's just giving you sleeve options that you can mix with other Butterick or really any of the big five patterns. You probably need to check a few things to make sure everything works because this is a retro pattern coming from the 50s, and you have 5 different sleeves, I think, in this one. Yes. So first up, actually, let's just scroll down to the line drawing so you can see them all. First up in A, you are going to have a set-in sleeve that is sheared. So you have this shearing down the center. This is the outside, and this is like the inside, the part that touches your body. So you're going to have sheared from the shoulder seam down to the hem. View B is a bishop sleeve that is cuffed, so a nice full sleeve. I actually like the sleeve on a lot of things. View C is a bishop sleeve, but with a cuff, which is also nice. It really sort of cinches you at the waist, but I typically go for the elastic band here. View C1 is the same as C, but shorter, so a bishop sleeve that stops like right underneath the elbow. View D is a puff sleeve that's really sort of is designed to be worn off the shoulder or on. I'm not 100% sure how you would add this to an existing pattern, but I'm sure I could figure it out. And then view E is a very fitted sleeve that has darts at the elbow and a little vent at the bottom to allow like your arm to be able to get through. So if we look at this on the pattern envelope, you can see these illustrated a little bit better on an actual arm. So where's A? View A gives you that sheared view that we were talking about. So just these gathers down the center. View B is going to be that bishop sleeve with an elastic cuff at the bottom. View C here is the bishop sleeve with the cuff. View C1 is the bishop sleeve that stops below the elbow. View D is the off the shoulder view that I wasn't so sure about. You can either pull it down off the shoulder or you can pull it up more as like a peasant sleeve kind of thing, a puff sleeve. And then view E just gives you a very fitted sleeve. You can't see the darts, and then there's a vent here at the bottom. So if you are a person who is a fan of a statement sleeve or a person who hacks a lot of patterns by putting the sleeve for another pattern on something, this sort of gives you those options just ready-made to pull out. So you can choose any one of these sleeves to go with an existing top or top or dress pattern, which is nice to do, fun to play with. And this is available from a small to an extra large. So again, wish it went to an extra, extra large and honestly an extra small. Like the more sizes, the better. But they break down everything here. Really, the suggested fabrics would be what you're sewing your dress or top out of. These are great, but like what is what you're making made out of? Match that. So this is a great option if you like playing and mixing and matching and hacking a pattern. You have 6 different sleeves here. Y'all know how I feel about vests, but I will say these vests are more decorative or fashionable than like vests for outdoor wear. Those are the ones that I really don't understand. So view A is giving me a traditional vest that I would think would go under a suit, right? Just very fitted because of course it's the woman's pattern. You're going to have 3 buttons, single breasted, darts for the fittedness. It comes to like a V-neck, very classic vest especially when I think of like a 3-piece suit. View B does add this little fake, I'm assuming flat pocket on the other side of the dart. It has more of a deep U neck, and it has the points, which view A also had, at the bottom. This makes me think of Alice in Wonderland the rabbit. Like that little flat pocket is where he pulls his pocket watch out from to say he's late for a very important date. That's what this makes me think. This seems more period to me, more Victorian or something. I don't know. I'm talking just my personal thoughts. Okay, and then view C is again going to be a V-neck, a lot of darts for the fittedness. This one though is double-breasted with a total of 4 buttons, and it has a flat squared off hem. And then view C is giving me a deep U, double-breasted, 6 buttons this time. And it reminds me more of like a milkmaid, like a maiden, like someone who would be at Oktoberfest or drinking German beer. I don't know. That might be offensive. Sorry. But if we look at it here on the illustrations, which again, I would much prefer that they would put these on actual models, you can see that this is view A, sort of like the classic vest. I would probably only wear this under a jacket, but y'all know I don't like vests, so I'm not the person to ask. This is going to be view B. It's giving you that very deep U with little flaps here. And then view C is more, straight cut across, double breasted, the 4 buttons. And then view D, again, is giving me like that milk maiden look with the double breasted and the 6 buttons. This is going to be from a 6, come back. This is going to be from a 6 to a 14, and then I think a 14 through a 22. I do like that they give you 4 views, even though y'all know I'm not the hugest fan of vests. If you're going to give me some, at least give me multiple options. And I do think that these 4 views look distinctively different from the other views. It's not a different of color blocking or directional fabric or buttons or whatever. It really is 4 totally different vests. And as far as the vest goes, these make more sense to me than other vests. So I could definitely see you doing this. Obviously, they don't require a lot of fabric because they're not covering much. So everything here is under like a yard and a half of fabric requirement, even at the 22 size. They recommend checks, so just plaids, corduroys, gabardines, velveteen, wool, I would say suiting, just really any medium weight fabric. I don't understand why it says here checks and plaids and then it says not suitable for diagonal stripes. Oh, I guess they mean like not, okay, I get what they're saying. Not like a real pronounced twill because, yeah. Anyway, if you like vest, I definitely think grab this pattern. This is 4 different vests in one pattern envelope, so better bang for your buck. Here is a 1950s dress, and I like the 50s style. I don't do a lot of retro patterns, but like I do like the 50s, maybe the 60s, and then like the 70s. I think that's pretty much it for me. But this is cute. It's giving me like I Love Lucy vibes. Because that was that era. So you have this interesting neckline here that has this like tab offset button closure for the neckline, and then you have the button front dress. They also are going to do a self belt, and then the cuffs here are built into the sleeve. I think they just fold up. And it gives you some interest there in like this cap sleeve moment. And those aren't set in, they're just like built into the bodice. And then the skirt is very full, it's very popular for that time. So it has inverted pleats in the front, and then it's just full in the back. So yeah, I don't know that I would make this pattern because I don't really wear a lot of retro pieces, but I definitely like the overall aesthetic of this dress. Very cutesy, very demure. Yeah, I like it. It is available in an 8 to a 16 and then a 14 through a 22. So I'm going to do my usual ranting about why bring back vintage patterns if you're not going to make them in current sizes. So, I mean, I know that they extended it to the 22 because I'm sure that was not offered in the 1950s, but I would really have appreciated if this would have at least gone to 26. Anyway, off my soapbox. If you can adjust what you need to adjust on the bodice, you'll be fine because the skirt is so full and that would be so easy to manipulate that you could work it out. That being said, the very full skirt and stuff does take a little bit of fabric. They do recommend chambray, crepes, linen, taffetas, basically any like sort of mid-weight woven. And then casual or dressy, you could get different vibes depending on the patterns that you used. I could see using like a solid suiting fabric for this as well. It is a very cute pattern. They call it average. If you are into retro or the 50s specifically, I think this would be a cute pattern to have because I don't think I've seen another pattern with that offset tab neckline. The last pattern from this collection is another retro pattern from the 50s, and it is a box coat. So it's going to be a little oversized. It's going to fit well over things. It definitely looks so cute on this pattern envelope with like a little cap or something. Anyway, let's take a look at the line drawings because I really want you guys to see this detailed. So they have tapered push-up sleeves is what they're calling them. And they have this like square inset feature you can see on all the views. It's squared off and it's like an inset sleeve. I don't know how difficult that is to sew, but it's just like a nice accent. Um, they all have button fronts, single breasted. You have a collar, and view A has patch pockets with button closures. View B looks essentially the same, but no buttons, and maybe this is bias bound on the edges there. And then view C has fold up cuffs and then the pockets and everything else. So let's look at the illustrations because of course they did not give us new pictures on new models. But yeah, you can see the overall look here. See how they're sort of pushed up on the arm for this like little gathering or ruching at the elbow. Very cute. Um, this is just a longer length essentially because you can see, oh, actually no, they might be the same length. And then this one is in a plaid. So yeah, there isn't a lot of difference in the views here. This one does get extended to a size 26. So again, rhyme, please meet reason. But then this starts at a 10. So again, what about for the ladies who wear a 6 and an 8? I guess their thought process is it's oversized anyway, so they'd be fine. I don't know. Anyway, they're calling for linen fabrics, which I think would be too light personally. Wool seems more like it. Um, any type coating fabric, I guess really choose the fabric based on the climate of where you live would make the most sense. You obviously need buttons and interfacing and all that good stuff. And also will be lined, so that too. Yeah, this is a nice retro pattern that has been graded to more appropriate sizes. I do like the set in square sleeve because I just think that's like a period vintage detail that you don't see in patterns now. And it does say that view B is braid trimmed, so that's really the difference there. And then view C has the cuffs. So essentially A and B are the same. It just trim or no trim. Blah blah blah. So yeah, this is a good coat pattern. If you're into retro looks, this would be great. If you're not, I actually still think this would be a great pattern. They're still saying that it's average sewing, so that square set and sleeve must not be that difficult to sew, which is good to know. I don't know that I'll grab it because I have so many coat patterns and I live in Georgia where it really doesn't get that cold and I never need all the coats that I sew, so I need to stop making them, but there's something about this that does intrigue me. So that was everything from the fall drop from Butterick. I think in total that was 16 patterns. I don't know that I can agree that they are trending tops because I don't really think there were that many tops, honestly. And family, sure, because they had the one family jacket pattern or whatever. But overall, I think this was a decent release because I don't think anyone's expectations for Butterick are ever that high. I did like some of the coat patterns. The coat patterns actually stood out to me the most. Like I said, I just have so many. I don't know that I need more. I did like the one off the shoulder dress, but I have patterns for dresses like that already. So I don't know that there are any from this collection that are must have from me, but there are some good solid staples in this drop if that's what you're interested in. But let me know your thoughts in the comments because, as usual, I love to chat with you guys there. Let me know which ones you are planning to grab. And yeah, until next time, happy sewing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching and happy sewing.